Welcome, I'm Deronda with Foods 101. Today I'm going to show you how to make homemade Crescent yeast rolls. Yes, these are homemade. Don't be intimidated. I'm going to show you how to make these from scratch and you're going to be really impressed. Very simple to do. To get this started, you're going to need 4 cups of all-purpose flour, 2 eggs, 1/2 cup of sugar, 1/2 cup of all vegetable shortening, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1/4 ounce envelope of your active yeast. This is just a dry active yeast. I have 2 tablespoons of water, and I'm going to need 1 cup of boiling water. So let me show you how we're going to get this together. First, you're going to add your all vegetable shortening into a large mixing bowl. Add your salt and 1 cup of boiling water. This will ensure that that shortening will melt. You want to just kind of stir it around. Make sure you get all your shortening broken down in little pieces. That way that hot boiling water will melt it a little faster. And if you want, you probably want to use a metal spoon. Next, you're going to dissolve your yeast in 2 tablespoons of warm water. Now you want your water between 110 to about 115 degrees Fahrenheit. That way it can bring this active yeast to life. You want to give it a little stir. And now we're going to set this off to the side. We're going to whisk our 2 eggs together. And as you can see, there's this little white thing between the yolk and the white, and that's called a cytoskeleton. And that holds the yolk and white together, but I like to remove it and disregard it. Give it a whisk. And then you're going to add your 1/2 cup of sugar. And whisk this around till it's well combined. After your all vegetable shortening has melted and your hot boiling water has cooled down, you're going to go ahead and whisk in your eggs and your sugar. Just give it a nice little whisking. Now you don't want to add your eggs and sugar into boiling hot water or it's going to scramble your eggs. Next, we've got the yeast, and look how frothy and bubbly, and oh my gosh, it smells so delicious. You're going to add that right in also. The reason we don't add boiling water to the yeast to dissolve it is because it boils at 112 degrees Fahrenheit and it will definitely kill your yeast. So you just want your yeast between 110 and 115 degrees Fahrenheit. Next, we're going to start adding in our flour just a little bit at a time. Altogether, you're going to incorporate 4 cups. Now, once you get about 2 cups of your flour into your wet mixture, it's going to start to become thick, and you may at that point need to use a fork. So keep adding all 4 cups of your all-purpose flour until you have it well incorporated with your wet ingredients. Oh my gosh, it smells so delicious. If you could be here in my kitchen right now with me, I think you'd agree. I've got my flour incorporated into my wet ingredients. Now I'm going to take a clean bowl. I'm going to add a few drops of canola oil or vegetable oil or any kind of oil you have, and I'm going to oil the inside of my bowl all the way up to the top of the rim, because this bread is going to rise as it sits in your refrigerator overnight. Here comes the dough. Oh my goodness. Alright, there it is. So now you want to take a piece of saran wrap, and I only have red. I've got the Christmas saran wrap. Cover your bowl tightly, and now this goes in the refrigerator overnight, and I'll be back the next day to show you how I'm going to roll them out. It's the next day, and I just took my dough out of the refrigerator, and as you can see, it rised a little bit. Now you probably want to just flour the top and push it down. And now next, I'm going to divide this dough in half. You can do it with your hands and just work with a half of the dough at a time. Alright, let's roll it out, and I'll show you how we're going to turn these into these fabulous crescent rolls. Now just flour your surface generously And now we have half the dough. Now the other half of the dough is in the refrigerator because you want to keep it chilled or it'll start rising on you, and that is not what you want. All right, we'll just put it here on the floured surface. Get both sides very well floured. As you can see, you don't want it sticking to your hands. And you're going to pat it out into a large disc. Now with the rolling pin, you're going to keep rolling it to the north, to the south, to the west, to the east, until you get this beautiful round piece of dough. My dough's rolled out into about 14 inches in diameter, and I'm going to start by dividing the dough in half. And now we're going to quarter it. Now each quarter we're going to divide in half. Whoops, it's stuck there to the pizza cutter. And if you don't have a pizza cutter to do this, you can use a knife. But I would recommend go get a pizza cutter because it works a lot faster and it gives you some really beautiful lines here on your crescent rolls. Alright, let's see, you may want to flour that a little bit. And now, each piece, you're going to go ahead and cut in half again. So therefore, on half of your dough, you're going to get 16 crescent rolls. Alright, just like that. Now, alright, let's just do these. Whoops, kind of missed the tip of that one, but it won't hurt anything. Now what you're going to do is we're just going to roll them. Going to start with the large end. Make sure you have all your excess flour off, and you're going to roll them up just like this. Roll them up tightly, and look how beautiful that is. Give it a little turn like a crescent roll, and then over here it goes on a cookie sheet. These are going to rise on your cookie sheet for the next 3 to 4 hours, depending on how warm the area is that your yeast rolls are rising in. And this is just the perfect roll to make while you continue fixing the rest of your Thanksgiving or Christmas Day dinner, or whatever dinner you're going to be serving these with. I've got 10 crescent rolls here on a large cookie sheet. Now you don't want them close together because when they rise, you don't want them bumping into each other. Now at this point, you're going to put some fresh paper towels over them, and these go in a very warm area for the next 3 to 4 hours, and make sure it's draft free and no peeking. These rolls have been rising for the last 3 hours, and they're about double in size. That's exactly what we're looking for. Now these go into a 375-degree preheated oven for the next 10 to 12 minutes, and keep an eye on them while they're baking. Here's our fresh baked crescent yeast rolls right out of the oven, and I'm going to let them cool down for about 2 minutes before I take them off their tray. Time to give these a try. I want to show you how light and fluffy they are on the inside and how soft. Oh my yummies, and they smell so delicious. And it's not necessary, but I'm just going to add a tad bit of little butter on it. Okay, and give them a try. Oh my yummy. Nice, fluffy, delicious yeast crescent rolls. Hey y'all, hope you give these a try. Give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment, and I'll catch you next time.